Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for just one moment, we have had some Remedy lip gloss brought over here. Someone has dropped and lost, and it is not my color. So I encourage you to come over to the tech area if you're missing your Remedy lip gloss. And while you're headed this way, please find your way to your seats. The salads are on the tables. We encourage you to go ahead and start enjoying those. We intend to start the program promptly at 11:30 so that we can get you out of here at 1 o'clock and back to everything else you need to take care of today. Ladies and gentlemen, last time for me to encourage you to find your salads, find your seats. We're going to begin the program in about 2 minutes. So please let me encourage you to find those salads. They're at your table. It's where you'll need to be in 2 minutes so we can start this show on time. Thank you.
Since 1984, Arkansas Business has been the state's business news authority, providing readers with the latest news and in-depth reporting on all things business in the state of Arkansas. Arkansas Business is also committed to honoring the individuals, companies, and organizations that are making an impact in the state of Arkansas. We live and work in the community, and we're committed to telling the stories of those who make Arkansas great. Today, we honor the Arkansas Business 40 Under 40. This year's class represents the diversity of our state from corner to corner, with strong, dedicated leaders working to better the lives of Arkansans. Their hard work and dedication is shaping the future of our state. We are committed to honoring this distinguished group of business and community leaders who are making their mark on the Arkansas business landscape. As long as there are people in Arkansas who are as spectacular as you, we want to be here to tell your story. Now it's time to celebrate the Arkansas Business 40 Under 40.
Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And I can't see you out there with the bright lights. Good morning. Good very morning. My name is Mitch Bettis. I am the owner and president of the Arkansas Business Publishing Group. On behalf of our staff and the sponsors and the whole team that puts this grand event together, we want to welcome you to the 2024 40 Under 40 Award Celebration. So how about that? We are thrilled you are here to help us celebrate these extraordinary men and women who are leading and will continue to lead our state in great places. Please enjoy your salad and bread on the table while we take an opportunity to recognize some of this year's sponsors for the 40 Under 40 Awards program. Without their generosity and support, there's no way that a program like this could ever come together. We'd like to start by thanking our reception sponsors. So while you're gathered here at lunch, we've been partying for a little while with all the honorees. And our friends at HCJ CPAs and Advisors have been a longtime partner in the 40 Under 40 program, recognizing these leaders in our state, and we appreciate them hosting the reception earlier today. We'd also like to say thank you to the University of Central Arkansas for its partnership in helping us produce today's event. And we want to thank the Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce, AIA, and Leadership Arkansas, who have been longtime partners honoring these leaders as well. We have a unique thing for this particular event. We want to thank Wright Lindsay Jennings, the law firm, for being our Circle sponsor. There's a whole online dialogue happening as well in the Circle, so we hope you participate in that. We want to thank our digital marketing sponsors, Flex 360. We want to thank the folks at the Marriott who have helped us stage this event, and a big thank you to this team of professionals over to my right, our ABN production sponsor, CWP Productions, who help us make this ceremony a unique experience for all of our honorees. And thank you to the Skybox sponsors who are listed on the screen, who have provided support for today's event. We certainly appreciate all of you, and we wanted to say thank you. So. Now, we would like to give a special moment of thanks to one of our longtime partners who have been instrumental in helping this event be special every year. We'd like to thank Bank OZK for being our presenting sponsor, and we'd like to welcome to the stage Matt Buchanan, who is the Executive Vice President of Commercial Banking, to make a few opening remarks. Brother Matt.
Thank you. So on behalf of the entire Bank OZK team, I'm so pleased to welcome you to this year's 40 Under 40 celebration. Bank OZK is proud to be the presenting sponsor of this wonderful event that recognizes business and political leaders who are shaping the future of our great state for the 14th consecutive year. You may have seen some of our television spots or a billboard with our tagline, "Greater awaits." The language we use in our advertising to motivate our clients to succeed financially should sound very familiar to the leaders being recognized today. Keep going, keep pushing, keep building, keep growing, keep ignoring the naysayers. This year's honorees exemplify the positive results you can achieve when you aim for greatness. You are the leaders of your generation, the movers and shakers, the innovators and game changers. Your hard work, dedication, and positive impact on our communities have earned you this well-deserved recognition. With your talent, passion, and drive, we know you'll continue to do great things to positively impact the great state of Arkansas. We can't wait to see what you accomplish next. Thank you to the entire team at Arkansas Business for their continued partnership and for hosting such a terrific event. We appreciate you being here today, and I hope greater awaits for all of you in 2024 and beyond.
Very nice. Thank you, Matt. Please go ahead and begin your lunch, and we'll continue with the ceremony in just a few minutes. Good.
extra. Extraordinary.
Hello again. Please continue to enjoy your lunch. We want to get the program started, but first, it's a real privilege to make a note, and please join me in a round of applause. Joining us in today's program is the Governor of the State of Arkansas, Sarah Sanders, and the First Gentleman, Brian Sanders. We appreciate them being here. We appreciate that a great deal. Today, we are celebrating our 31st class of 40 under 40 honorees. I was thinking about this a minute ago. I saw George Macros of Simmons Bank, and I think he was in class 1 or 2. He was among those early honorees. And I think that's kind of evident of the tone we try to set. We try to find leaders who are making an impact today, who are going to be leading our state for decades to come. And we told the honorees a little earlier in the reception, they may not really know how they got here. They may be thinking they don't even belong here. But here's how this works. Our team poured through more than 500 nominations. So think about that for a minute. More than 500 nominations from all across the state were submitted for consideration for today's recognition. And we had to cull this down to the top 7, 8, 9% of leaders in the state. And that is a reflection of the fact that we fully believe in the work and the impact and the present and the future of each of these honorees today, and how they excel not only in their profession, but also in their communities. They are helping shape the business and political and civic landscape of Arkansas today and for decades to come. This group of 40, this will be fun to kind of pay attention to during the program. This group of 40 is from all 4 corners of the state of Arkansas. And that's a thrill to be able to host a program that honors that kind of diversity, because it gives us the state's sort of business newspaper. It gives us an opportunity to shine a light on those people who you may not know of, but they are making a huge impact throughout this state. So, speaking of Arkansas Business, I would like to invite to the stage the new editor of Arkansas Business, Hunter Field, to join me and help me honor today's honorees. So welcome, Hunter. Look at that. Hunter joined us. Hunter's a longtime journalist in this state. We're thrilled to have his leadership at Arkansas Business and join our team there. He joined us back in March, and he's been doing a fantastic job, and we are thrilled he's on stage today helping host this event and recognize these particular honorees. So thank you, Hunter, for being here. I think we're getting closer to being able to honor this next group. So what we believe out of this group of 40 under 40, and I just told him this in the reception, these are people Arkansas Business is going to be covering for the next 40 years of their professional life. And we are excited to highlight these accomplishments that brought them here today for this recognition. I think you're going to find them representing business and education, healthcare, government, nonprofit, all different walks of life that should give you confidence that this state is really a place that is growing, cultivating, and retaining great leaders. We are in good hands for the decades to come. So congratulations to each of the honorees today. I think you're going to be both impressed and encouraged when you hear more about them. There's a lot of depth and breadth of leadership that we're celebrating today. So we're going to be inviting each of them on stage to answer a question from Hunter and me about specific topics, things like their influences, things like their ideas on cultivating the next generation of leadership. They've already been split into some groups, so they know who's coming up. And we have a little highlight video celebrating each of the 4 groups of honorees and the things that they find valuable, their hobbies, their families, philanthropic things that they participate in. It's just a way to get you introduced to them a little more. So without more ado, we're now bringing to the stage, recognizing Group A. So Group A, you can start coming right over here, and you can watch the video celebrating Group A as they make their way. Fantastic. So now let's get on to some introductions and get these folks on stage. Let's begin with Michael Acordino, who is the president of Amfuel in Magnolia. Michael had a conflict today, and he could not be here, but we certainly wanted to recognize him and the kind of leadership that he's providing in Magnolia and throughout South Arkansas.
So the honor of being first will go to Chris Arnold. He's a partner at Hope, Dwyer, Wilson, and Arnold Law Firm.
There you go.
Chris's career dream as a child was to play in the NFL.
That's right.
A dream, he says, that ended in college thanks to injuries and genetics. Same story for Mitch,
That's
minus
right.
the injuries.
That's right, yeah, just pure genetic problems
Yeah.
there. Let's now welcome Vice President and Commercial Lender at Partners Bank, Luke Ballard, to the stage. Luke serves as a board member and treasurer of the Arkansas Zoological Foundation, as a member of the Hat Club, which has raised more than $700,000 for local charities since 2010.
Up next, we'd like to invite Ashley Bearden Campbell, a partner at Impact Management Group in Little Rock. Ashley's passionate about maternal health in Arkansas and serves as the executive director of Arkansans for Improving Maternal Health. It's a nonprofit focused on increasing awareness and supporting efforts that address access, affordability, and quality maternal health across the state.
Next, let's welcome to the stage the Strategic Operations Officer and Senior Truck Auditor for American Truck and Rail Audits, Nikki Bolton. Come on, Nikki. Nikki's professional inspiration is to serve other women as an advocate for and an inspiration to become involved in historically male-dominated industries such as trucking and transportation.
Up next, let's introduce Courtney Bryant from the University of Central Arkansas in Conway. Courtney says that success is finding a path forward to serve others, even if it looks different than expected, whether it's with family, friends, or in a professional setting. She says taking a service mindset will always yield a richer outcome. Welcome, Courtney.
Very good. And now let's introduce Stevens Senior Vice President and Financial Advisor, Philip Butterfield. Come on, Philip. I can relate to this, Philip. Philip's first job was working at a small grocery store in Hot Springs in high school, where you learn to take pride in work. Regardless of the level of responsibilities you have, that's the key to making progress in your career. Congratulations.
Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Michael Bynum from the Arkansas Attorney General's Office. His advice to future 40 under 40 honorees is that your community is counting on you. Use your talent and your energy for the greater good, and don't be afraid to take risks or embrace your mistakes.
Okay. And next we wanted to recognize Amanda Carpenter, the Assistant Professor and Program Director of Public Health at Arkansas State University. She was not able to join us today, but we absolutely want to recognize her accomplishments and congratulate her.
And finally, in Group A, our last honoree is Brandon Chapman from the Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance. While talking with a friend, Brandon had a professional aha moment when he realized he could pursue a career that blends his love for growing food with his passion for helping others in need. And this revelation sparked a clear path forward, igniting his drive to make a meaningful impact in both realms. He's also good for seeking tomato growing advice, as I found out in the lobby beforehand.
Excellent. All right. Extra skills. Well, congratulations to Group A. We have a special question for you. And I think all of us, especially as we get a little older, begin to reflect on questions like this. So I'm curious your answer. What would you say is your biggest mistake, and what did you learn for it? All right, Chris, you're first on, so you get to lead us off. What would you say is your biggest mistake, and what did you learn from it?
Next question, please. No, when I transitioned from private industry to practicing law, I didn't appreciate the fact that I was restarting my career. There was very little overlap from my previous job to being a practicing attorney. So when I went into practicing law, I had a little bit too much self-confidence that wasn't warranted for the situation. It took a while to adjust, and now when I start new endeavors or go into a new situation, it taught me to be humble and open-minded when starting those new endeavors.
Absolutely. I can appreciate that for sure. Good answer. Yeah.
Good answer, Chris. Let's kick it next to Luke. What was your biggest mistake, and what did you learn from it?
Made a handful of mistakes. In general, I would say everybody's heard the term of a yes man. Early on in my career, I would try to do any and every loan that walked through the door. What I found was not only did I end up wasting my time in some instances, more importantly, I'd wasted the customer's time. Time they could have spent trying to find an alternative solution to their problem. All that to say, it's best to be honest and open from the onset about what you can or cannot get accomplished for somebody. Everybody's time is precious.
That's great advice, actually. Well said. Thank you, Luke. All right, let's hear from Ashley. So what would you say was your biggest mistake, and what did you learn from it?
So when I was thinking about the answer to this question, I very quickly realized that my answer truly depends on what day it is. I make a lot of mistakes all the time, and I'm sure my 2-year-old would very happily back me up on that. But the biggest lesson that I've learned is the importance of owning up to my mistakes and always doing my best to make it right. I want my daughter to know that it's totally okay to mess up. We are all human, and it's about how you respond that matters most.
Yeah, great point.
Good answer. Thanks for sharing, Ashley. All right, Nikki, you're next. Take it away.
I would say that one of my greatest mistakes was when I started leadership. I came in due to experiences in my life, just being very guarded about who I am and what my heart is. And so when I tried to be a teammate and a leader, not everybody understood the choices I made, the things that I said. My true intentions behind it were to protect and to help and to lead and guide. And so it wasn't fair to ask them to trust me when I wasn't willing to trust them with knowing me and bringing down my walls and really getting to know each other and have that relationship. But it's been an opportunity to learn and grow, and so that's always where we need to go.
That's great. I think leading with trust and transparency is a good lesson to learn for all of us. I appreciate that. So that's terrific. All right, Ms. Courtney Bryant, what would you say is your biggest mistake, and what did you learn from it?
As a young professional, I had this idea that I had to know everything and I had to do everything by myself. So in one of my earlier career moves, I was building a system and I couldn't figure something out. So I was trying to learn code so that way I could build it the way that I wanted to. And our IT guy came in and said, "What are you doing? This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you." So that was kind of my aha moment and an opportunity for me to humble myself and allow others to help me and be a better team member, honestly.
Yep. Thanks, Courtney. Good to see you again today. Let's go next to Philip from Stevens. Philip?
Yeah, so from an early point in my life, I figured out that impatience was a challenge for me. You know, like a lot of people on this stage, reaching the end goal is kind of the mark for success. But I think a lot of us have figured out that some things can take a little bit longer than we would like them to. But, you know, playing sports as a kid and then in college, and then going into my career, I think that's definitely benefited me. To know that just be patient. Patience is a virtue. And so, yeah, that's my answer.
Words of wisdom, we appreciate that. All right, Michael Bynum, what was your biggest mistake and what did you learn?
The biggest mistake I made occurred in my 20s. It was a time where I prioritized my career life at the expense of community life. I entered the workforce in about 2009, which was at the brunt of the Great Recession, and I came to believe my entire life revolved around personal career advancement and other people's measures of success. In short, I wasn't fulfilled. So it wasn't until I met my wife and started a family that I realized there was a lot more to life. Family, community, service to others, living out your values. Today, you know, my career is still really important to me. But what really matters to me is the people in my family, in my community, and those bonds are ultimately what give me meaning in conjunction with my professional life.
Yeah, that's meaningful. All right, Brandon, you're rounding out the group here. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, so at the very beginning stage of my career, we decided that we were going to open a agritourism venue, and we went into a lease agreement on a handshake without the actual proper paperwork to protect me and the other individual. And after 2 years of growing and becoming fairly successful in the venue, the landowner decided that we were no longer welcome on the venue, which was really heartbreaking for us. So learning from that was do the proper steps to take care of yourself along with other parties, and you'll be a lot better off.
Good answer. Probably a couple of attorneys here today that could help you with that paperwork. Valuable lesson.
And I don't know how the rest of you feel, but I feel like I've made every one of these mistakes. This feels very personal today, but I appreciate your transparency and sharing that. That's been very, very helpful.
Yeah. Congratulations again to this amazing group of honorees.
Yeah. All right, you're good.
Thank you, Group A. While we invite Group B to join us on the stage, let's take a look at their highlight reel. We asked Group B to give us an inside look at some of their hobbies. Let's welcome the next group up. First, we've got the owner and principal consultant at Waypoint College Consulting, Stephen Colley. Steve is a former captain in the U.S. Marine Corps and a staff member on the Senate Committee on Veteran Affairs, and he founded Waypoint College Consulting in 2021. Welcome.
And up next, join me in welcome Gretchen Conger, the Chief of Staff to the Governor of the state of Arkansas. Come on down. Whoop, whoop. Gretchen says the best thing about Arkansas is its people. Southern hospitality is real. And she says everyone should have the opportunity to live in a community of people that who care about one another and care about and that's what Arkansas has meant to her. So we're glad you're here.
Next up, let's welcome Josh Conley. He's the president of Lawrence Healthcare in Walnut Ridge. Outside of mowing lawns for a few neighbors, Josh's first job was being an umpire for Little League Baseball. Why he thought that he could do that at 16 is a mystery to him, but it taught him a few valuable lessons about decision making, dealing with disgruntled people, and how to control his emotions under pressure. Welcome.
Yeah, congratulations. And it's my pleasure to introduce the Vice President of Centennial Bank of Batesville, Adam Curtright. Come on, Adam. Adam has had many career-fulfilling moments over the past 18 years, but there is one that sticks out. A customer who had originally banked with Adam's grandfather early in his career approached Adam for assistance later on. He was able to help them, and that customer went on to say that Adam's grandfather was their first banker when they were young and starting out, and they want Adam to be their last banker. What a cool moment that must have been. That's cool.
Up next, let's welcome Will Davis. He's the president of Site Services for David's Burgers. Will oversees multiple departments, including IT, maintenance, marketing, catering, customer service, and Manna Foods. His first job was cleaning doctors' offices with his mother, where he learned that in order to make a living, you have to hustle, and that every person within an organization plays a key role in that company's overall success. Welcome.
Yeah, well done. And we should have had Dave, we should have you can't cater this to lunch today. We'll work on that for the future. And so, please join me in welcoming Bo Diamond of Cason Capital Partners in Fayetteville. Clap, clap. When asked to give advice to his 18-year-old self, Bo said that was a pretty tough time in his life for a host of reasons, but if he could return to 2022, he would just listen and try to be supportive. He would also tell himself to buy and hold Apple, Amazon, and Netflix, each of which have returned more than 34,000% from 2002 to 2024. So good advice on the investment side. So.
You and me both, and those Bitcoins I had. Up next is Will Davis, up next is Derek Dixon. He's at the New York Institute of Technology, College of Osteopathic Medicine at Arkansas State University. Derek's professional inspiration is to serve as a thriving example for individuals from low socioeconomic and underserved communities because he grew up in Camden, Mississippi, where he wasn't exposed to many professionals. Welcome up.
Very nice. And welcome to the stage, the U of A Clinton School of Public Service, from the U of A Clinton School of Public Service in Little Rock, Nicola Driver. So when asked about valuable life lessons, Nicola says that someone once told her it takes 5 years to become truly good at something. So before you quit something, a job, a hobby, or a skill, give it more time. Developing skills takes practice, and she always tells her students, sucking at something is the first step to being good at it. That's great. That's awesome.
And now I want to recognize e-commerce manager for Walmart, Evan Gattano. Unfortunately, Evan was ill today and couldn't be here, but we still wanted to recognize him. His most fulfilling career moment was flying out to Washington State to meet with some of Walmart's farmers and suppliers for the grocery division. There he met third and fourth generation families that view farming as a true calling.
That's right. Now finally, for Group B, we'd like to welcome to the stage Allison Pittman Gatton. Sorry about that. That's a bad habit. Allison Pittman Gatton. Alice and I worked together when she was a Pittman, not a Gatton, so that's the history there. Public Relations Director for the Peacock Group here in Little Rock, and in addition to co-founding and serving on the board of the Central Arkansas Diaper Bank, Allison is involved in a lot of notable efforts, including the board of the Wolf Street Foundation and the co-chair of the Red Carpet Recovery Gala, secretary of the Arkansas chapter of PRSA, and a Fulbright Elementary PT board member, which I bet gives her the most joy along the way. So welcome, everybody.
Welcome up. All right. For Group B, the question is, what can employers do to attract and retain key employees?
Okay, I'll start off. So I think that I work with a lot of young professionals, college students, and one of the things that folks are looking for is not just a transaction with their future employer. They're looking for an experience. And I think that experience comes with affordable housing, good school districts, a place to experience festivals and culture and just good urban amenities while also having the small town feel that Arkansas provides. And the good thing is that Arkansas has a lot of this stuff, and we should leverage the strengths that Arkansas has, like its great outdoors, its tight-knit communities. But I think we can do a lot more investments to attract that type of talent. Because I got a lot of friends that come to Arkansas and they say, "Gosh, this is a hidden gem," and we need to stop making it a hidden gem and make it a beacon of prosperity for future young professionals.
Yeah, that's a great point, Steve. Thank you very much. Ms. Gretchen, what would you say your answer is? How do we recruit and retain?
Thank you. I think just to start, I would agree. We have to attract more people to Arkansas, and certainly that's something that under Governor Sanders we're extremely focused on. I think once we get them here, from an employer perspective, being innovative about the experience that you're giving your employees. It's not just about the paycheck. Of course, that matters, and it plays a huge part, but giving them other parts of that overall experience. And one that comes to mind that we have started to model at the state level is something we call families at work. Obviously, we know childcare is very expensive. It's often very difficult for young parents to go back to work and afford childcare at the same time. So we've explored having children come into the office, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's an incredible experience both for the parent and for the other employees in the office, and just thinking of how we can be more welcoming and allowing the businesses to solve those problems on their own. I think innovative solutions are what is going to help attract and retain those employees.
All great ideas.
great.
Good to see you again, Gretchen.
great.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
Yes, I think the phrase culture eats strategy for breakfast comes with employee recruitment, because your culture of your building can really recruit and retain talent more than anything else. So in our organization, really strive to look at, salary benefits, of course, as mentioned, matters. You have to be competitive, but your culture of engagement, your culture of recognition, your culture of listening, rounding with your employees, that is what sets some employers apart from others and what's able to recruit and retain top talent.
Yeah, I think that's a great perspective. Thank you, Josh. Adam, tell us what do you think employers can do to attract and retain?
I think it begins with positive leadership, a style of leadership that truly invests in its employees, as Josh was saying, that someone that pours into them the talent, someone that shares with them the lessons that they learn to become leaders and to get to the places that they've gotten to. Share the stories, the good stories, share the bad stories as well. The ones where you didn't want to go back to work the next day and you took a box home just in case. Don't teach them that their failures don't define them, but give them the tools, the resources, and the opportunity to stand back up and try it again. If we do this and if it takes root, I believe what happens is we develop a more positive and purpose-driven work culture where people outside start looking at what we're doing and they say they're doing that well and they want to be a part of it. And so I think that retention is the key thing there, and we let retention be our attraction.
Thanks,
Excellent.
Adam.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here. All right, Will, employee recruitment, retention, what you think?
Those are all really good answers. For me, I am very thankful to work for a company that believes and wants their employees to be successful. I believe that it starts in the interview process whenever we can sit them down and we can tell them that expectations that whenever they're coming in, they know exactly what to do, but also we get to explain to them why their role within the organization is so important. Once we get them in the door, I believe it's being able to provide a atmosphere and a culture that they can get behind and really buy into, and it gets them excited every day. And also being able to see a group of people that buy into those same principles and values helps too.
Yeah, great answer. There's a lot of growth happening at David's Burgers, so some good things are happening there then on the recruiting side as well. All right, Bo.
Sure, thank you. So I'm a commercial real estate investor. We have fewer direct employees, so like every good politician, I'm going to pivot this question a little bit and talk about partnerships. People may know that our industry has experienced a little bit of a blip, due not in small part to what's going on in the economy, but keeping partnerships together through downturns is incredibly challenging. It's about communication. It is about doing what you said you were going to do despite outcomes, setting intentions up front and following through, and at the end of the day, ultimately doing what is right. Handshakes are often more powerful than contracts, although we do know that there are tons of lawyers in the room who can help us.
We like a good contract, yes. Well done, good stuff.
Yeah, power of the pivot. Thanks, Bo. Up next, let's hear from Derek Dixon. Derek?
Absolutely. So Arkansas is going through a phase of growth. There's a lot of growth that's happening. And then when you couple that with the fact that it's a great place to start your career and work and bring your family, it's really important that it creates an environment where people want to be a part of it. And so when you get those individuals in your organization, because we know that growth is prevalent, we got to create an environment where we allow people to create and grow. And so how do we allow them to advance? Because when we give individuals space to have that ownership of this is what I created and this is what I did to help support the organization, there's a deeper level of commitment to that space. But with that also comes the responsibility as leaders to say, we got to give you a space to make mistakes. Because if we don't give individuals a space to make mistakes, they're not going to grow and they're not going to develop. And so with that mistake also comes the reality that they're going to be able to take your organization to the next level, because they're going to learn from that and they're going to be able to build and move through that challenge.
Yeah, great words. Thank you, Derek. Very nice. Nicola, what would you say?
Yeah, so beyond your typical compensation and benefits, I think that employers should focus on two things to attract and retain a good workforce. Really, the first thing is a focus on social responsibility. So I may be biased, but I spend my time with some amazing students, and whether it's a focus on sustainability or DEI or public health, I think today's young employees really want to know that they're working for organizations that care about the world and want to make a positive social impact. The second thing is to provide flexible work arrangements. I think that giving employees the ability to give their best at work, but also be able to give their best at home and in their personal lives and in their community, that really is the new ideal. It's especially attractive to employees with families.
Yeah, great words. All right, Allison, you're closing us out here. What would you say is the right way to think about recruiting and retention?
So building on what Nicola just said, I think it's really important that we start changing the narrative and calling it a life-work balance, because our life as human beings, as parents, as community members, that's number one in our world. Second, that's first, and work should come second. So I'm very thankful for an employer who understands that we're parents and doctor's appointments pop up, programs with our kids pop up, but we're also involved community members. So being able to go and volunteer at the diaper bank on the first Wednesday of every month, that's really important to me. So I think that instilling a life-work balance mindset within your organization is really going to encourage your people to really feel ownership and feel a really healthy personal, professional life.
Yeah, very good.
Perfect note to end on. Thanks, Allison.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for this group. Thank you to that group of honorees. While we welcome the third group to join us on stage, let's look at their highlight reel. For this group, we asked for a look into their family life. All right. First up, we have Megan Hall. She's the Chief Information and Infrastructure Officer for First National Bank. Let's hear for her. Megan's most fulfilling career moment happened recently when she was asked to go to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to teach an internal audit class. She says it was an amazing opportunity.
Up next, let's welcome David Hinton, the Executive Director of Technology Ventures at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Welcome. So David's advice to his 18-year-old self is that it is okay to pivot, to adapt, and adjust your plans just so you continue to grow. It's important to take risk and own your own mistakes. Great words of advice.
Yeah. Let's now welcome Steve Jackson, the Senior Director of Cardiovascular Services at the Arkansas Heart Hospital. His first job was working with his father in chicken houses down in Hope, and that was during one of the hottest summers on record, where he says he learned that hard work pays off, and he didn't want anything to do with chicken houses.
And next, let's welcome Elizabeth Matchin, Executive Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Simmons Bank. Come on down. Elizabeth says she has been lucky to have many mentors in her career, and right now she's learning the most from Simmons executive Freddie Black, who continues to teach her the value of relationships in her work life and how partnerships are ultimately what make you successful. He is the epitome of the do-right rule, and he's been doing it well for a long time, so Freddie's a good one. So.
Up next, let's welcome the Director of Robotics and Automation for ArcBest, Jefferson Maldonado.
Hoop, hoop, hoop. Look at that crowd.
Asked how he defines success, Jefferson says success means making a positive impact on others and leaving the world better than he found it. It's about using your skills, your passion, and it's about using your resources to contribute to the well-being of those around you and to enact positive change in the world. Welcome.
All right.
All right, next we've got the Chief Administrative Officer for Unity Group, Jennifer Ragsdale. Not to upset the Davids folks in the room, but the top challenge facing Arkansas, according to Jennifer, is that we don't have an In-N-Out burger. But on a more serious note, it's that we don't promote more alternative learning opportunities such as trade schools, apprenticeship programs, vocational training, etc. Adding the youth of Arkansas should feel empowered and encouraged to seek advancement and showcase their God-given talents and abilities, even if that means foregoing a traditional four-year degree.
Yeah. Up next is Clay Ramey, Partner and Vice President of Capital Markets at Tempest Realty Partners. Clay? Clay's advice to his 18-year-old self is think like an entrepreneur from an early age. Find your passions, don't fear failure, and at such a young age, the risk of failure pales in comparison to the potential upside. I think that's great advice.
Now please welcome Brent Rawson. He's an internal medicine physician at North Arkansas Regional Medical Center in Harrison. Brent's professional aha moment came after his first day of being an upper-level resident. He was placed on nights in the ICU at UAMS with only an intern on their first day of being a doctor. He says he was never more relieved to see 7 a.m. roll around, but it showed him that he was capable and that things from there on would get much easier.
Very good. And next, let's welcome the president of Sierra Group Roofing and Solar, Marcus Sierra. Marcus? Marcus says the most valuable lesson one can learn is that in life and in business, we never really lose. We win or we learn. Life and business are not a zero-sum game, and he says adding that both paths lead to growth, resilience, and a richer tapestry of life experiences. I think that's great perspective. So welcome, everybody. We are thrilled you're here. So we're curious, what new thing have you tried this year, and what did you learn from it? So Megan, you're kicking us off.
All right, so I decided to learn 2 new languages, Italian and Greek. Not sure why I thought both at the same time would be a good idea, but that is what I did. And I learned really quickly that Greek is very difficult, although I may be able to order a coffee and a pastry when I go there at some point. But really, what I learned is that showing up every day, even if just for a few minutes, to put in the practice and the hard work and the effort, it really pays dividends. And that goes above and beyond a new language. That's really for anything that you're pursuing in your life.
Yeah, good lesson.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Megan. All right, David, what have you tried this year? What'd you learn?
One new thing that I did this year was I submitted my first grant application. It's about bringing entrepreneurial, experiential education to Arkansas as well as the rest of the heartland. We partnered with Oklahoma, Missouri, Alabama, and some other states to put this grant together. It's a $15 million project that we submitted to the National Science Foundation. And really what I learned through this process is the importance of diversifying funding streams, as well as kind of expanding on my kind of leadership journey as I work with other leaders and collaborators in the area and really understand how to help lead other leaders to work with their teams and achieve a common shared goal. So wish me luck.
I'm sure federal paperwork is easy to navigate. I'm sure that's
It's terrible.
Perhaps patience was also learned in the process. And so thank you, David. All right, Steve.
Yes, sir. So, not really tried anything new this year, but we all know as leaders, leadership is hard. Our work lives are hard, but spending that quality time with your family, making those individuals priorities for you. So, that's been something that I have done this past year. I think my wife would probably challenge that just a little bit, but being there for them, because that's one thing that in leadership and working hard, the work will go on without you. So make sure that you're there for your family.
Yeah, good.
Always a good thing to keep top of mind. Thanks, Stephen. All right, now I'd like to go next to Elizabeth Matchin from Simmons Bank. Elizabeth, take it away.
Yes, well, I figured if later this year I was going to win the Pro-Am at the Simmons Bank Championship, a good first step would be to learn how to play golf. So I recently took my daughter out to First Tee for a mother-daughter golf event, and about 10 minutes in, she declared that she was way better than me, and that I had a long way to go if I was going to be any good at golf. And so what I learned from that is that kids will humble you to your core deeply.
But those are sweet moments. Those are precious times. So that's excellent. All right, Jefferson, you're up. What have you tried and what did you learn?
For me, it was essentially trying to launch a new product from the ground up. That's something new for me, as well as partnering with NVIDIA along the way. The new product was Vox Smart Autonomy. The challenge part was I had a hard time understanding how much time and effort it would take to launch a new product. That definitely underestimated how hard that is. And some of the things I learned along the way were, first, we have to figure out how to find balance, how to stay flexible, but also how to cherish every moment that we can with our family, especially, my work family and my home family. So a quick shout out to my wife here, Stephanie, and my awesome co-workers, and my boss, Craig.
Awesome. Yeah, well done. Scored points. That was good.
Smart man.
That was good.
Smart man.
All right, Jennifer, what have you tried and what did we learn?
I feel like everyone's had very serious answers. So
That's all right. Bring it up. This is your chance.
Regretting my decisions, but this is authentically me. My table can tell you that. I was recently hypnotized, and it was incredible by a real professional, not a comedian at the loony bin or anything. I didn't quack like a duck. It was great. The 2-hour session was some of the most relaxed I've been in the last couple of months. And she sends you home with this recording to listen to when you go to sleep. And I mean, me and my husband, we go to sleep so fast now. It's so great. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. And just a new experience for me to try.
I love that answer.
Yeah, good answer. Now to Clay Ramey, same question. What have you tried this year and what did you learn?
Yeah, so a little over a year ago, a group of us started planning to run the Grand Canyon's rim to rim to rim route. Plenty of people do this, but we thought it was a good idea to do it all without stopping. So that was going to require a whole lot of training, which I was prepared for, but what I was not prepared for was my dad in November of 2023 was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and ultimately would pass away 3 weeks before the trip. And the training became a huge blessing for me. And so those guys, we completed it, we bonded, and it really made me believe that, one, try new things, and two, surround yourself with people who want to see you succeed, will push you, and really just be there for a time of need.
Yeah, that's terrific. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. Dr. Rawson, how about you?
So, in medicine, you're always learning something new, but something definitely new for us this year was we decided to become parents almost exactly a year ago. So that's been challenging in some ways and rewarding in a lot of ways. It took me a while to get rid of the gloves and stuff when not wanting to change a diaper. But that's, I think overall it's made me a better physician. It's made me more empathetic and understanding to my patients. And as chief of staff, it's made it a little bit easier to deal with medical staff issues because there's a lot of similarities in how they behave.
Congratulations. We all know about sleep with a newborn, and Jennifer has a guy.
That's right.
If it
that's
becomes
right.
a problem.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right, last but not least, Marcos.
This came from a challenge from the executive team and the marketing team to get in front of a camera, grow your personal brand, so we considered you with a long-term vision of the company. I do want to send a little bit of love to the Peacock group that's here. They've been fantastic. But in essence, what I've learned through growing that personal brand and going through nationwide, being a breakout speaker to different nationwide initiatives in the trade side, if you are clear with your vision, you're able to bring into that mission some all-stars on your team. And that's a big aha moment that I learned with trying out, getting outside that comfort zone, getting in front of the camera. And as you can see, I'm obviously here along with some great people, networking with some wonderful individuals today. And I look forward to getting to know some more of you.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. And thanks to all of you. We appreciate that. Congratulations. All right. Let's invite up our final group, Group D, to join us on stage and take a look at this great highlight reel. We asked Group D to give us a look at some of their philanthropic efforts.
All right, please join me in welcoming the Vice President of Acquisitions at BSR REIT, Michael Squires. Michael would tell his 18-year-old self that there will always be parties to go to or events to attend, but the opportunities you have right now may never be available to you again. So get out of your comfort zone and take them. Spend as much time as you can with your grandma and pawpaw, and also don't worry about chasing women. There's one from Kansas who will make you forget about all the other ones.
And let's welcome to the stage Jay Staley, the Director of Investor Relations and Corporate Development at Bank OZK. Jay, come on over. So Jay's advice for future 40 under 40 honorees is that a lack of experience is not an excuse, which is great. Just because you haven't done something before shouldn't keep you from trying something new in the future. And if you're going to try something new, you're likely going to be pleasantly surprised by everything you can achieve. Great advice.
Up next, let's welcome the Vice President of Compliance for Signature Bank, Jennifer Stanek. As a woman in her 30s, Jennifer finds her professional inspiration comes from her daughters and the other women around her. She says that she hopes her dedication and hard work can inspire them to see that it's never too late to pursue their passions and achieve success, no matter what perceived setbacks may be in front of them.
Very good. Next, let's welcome Taylor Stockmeyer, partner attorney at Friday Elders and Clark. Taylor's professional aha moment came when the moment he realized that change was a constant, no matter what phase of life or what job or what occupation or position or challenge you faced. He says he realized that this when he was graduated from law school and accepted a position at Friday Elders and Clark, even though he never even intended on practicing law. That's a big change.
Next, let's welcome the CEO of Freight Relay there in Bentonville, Ayush Thakur. Ayush's advice for his 18-year-old self is don't take everything at face value. Do your own research, develop your own thought processes, your own opinions, invest time in learning new things, and listen more and speak less. Then you can trust yourself to make more informed decisions.
Yeah, great advice. Next, let's welcome Adam White, the VP of Operations at Manager at Garver. When asked where he sees himself in 10 years, Adam says, hopefully sleeping through the night. He has 4 young kids, and he's and a busy work schedule, and that doesn't always add up to 8 hours a night. So again, there's a hypnotist we can connect you with here shortly. So.
Next up, we have Morgan Wiles, the CEO and owner of WinChoice USA and Morphe Windows. A driving force for Morgan has been rebuilding his hometown of Mountain Pine. His company has invested $10 million in restoration over the last decade. He also supports Habitat for Humanity builds, Abilities Unlimited, and Pathways to Employment. Welcome up.
Yeah, congratulations, and it's my pleasure to introduce Talent Scout and Employer Brand Ambassador for MISO, Shamia Woods. Come on down. I like that. I like that. Her first job was a waitress at the Waffle House before the summer before she started her undergraduate. Then she worked the 3rd shift, learned the value of engaging authentically with customers and providing stellar customer service to a diverse collection of people. That's the 3rd shift, right? She says working that 3rd shift at the infamous Waffle House is a unique experience where you learn patience, poise, and professionalism, something she was able to master that summer. So yeah, great experience.
Yeah, and last, let's welcome the CEO of Happy Eggs and Rogers, Alex Worley. Alex spent 4 years at Walmart and specializing in dairy merchandising. Then he was a senior buyer at Sam's Club before joining Happy Egg in 2017. There, he's been the CEO since June of 2022 and has witnessed Happy Egg grow into the largest free-range egg brand in the U.S. Yeah. Welcome up, Alex.
Great story, great story. And finally, we want to acknowledge Jordan Wright, who is the CEO of Wright's Barbecue. He had a conflict today and could not join us, but we want to recognize him. And I want to apologize because between Dave's Burgers and Wright's Barbecue, we could have had a hell of a lunch for you. That's my fault. That's my fault. We'll fix that in the future. But congratulations to Jordan. So.
All right, welcome up everyone. The question for Group D, how do you unplug from the office and refresh yourself? Michael, why don't you go first?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Hunter. For me, to unwind, it always starts with 2 things. First, my family, who always puts life in perspective. And second, spending time outdoors. Now, lately, that's playing freeze tag in the backyard with the kids, where my youngest son, who has a knack for recognizing when someone needs to unwind, will come over and say, "Daddy, be happy." And in that moment, you're looking at his face and you're playing with the kids, you realize you have nothing to be wound up about. Now, that's pretty effective.
That's right.
But if that doesn't work, my wife makes a pretty mean margarita.
Love the combo. In fact, that's a great combo. All right, Jay, what would your answer be?
Yeah, y'all can't see this, but there's a countdown clock, so I'm acutely aware of the time here. I'll really mirror that language there. I love to get outside whenever I can. You rather going to the lake or beach on vacation, or even something as simple as going on a run at lunch and getting away from screens and just really finding the time to be outside almost immediately resets and makes for a much better rest of the day.
Yeah, great. Screens are unavoidable, but it's nice to get away. Jennifer, you're up next. How do you unplug and refresh yourself?
So, to be completely honest, I find this very difficult personally. I have made it a priority in my life to be present for my children, and when they're awake, I'm with them. But once they go to bed, luckily they're still young, they go to bed early, then I get back at work. But when we do spend time together, my oldest daughter loves archery. My youngest one started to get into softball, and me and my husband love to play golf together.
Awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. All right, Taylor, what are your thoughts?
It's really difficult to get away when there's an expectation of always working. I'm assuming everybody here has that expectation. put upon them, or they put it upon them themselves, and you've got a screen, and there's always email, there's always phone calls, they can reach you anywhere, all over the globe. But for me, I've picked up, with the help of actually some of my coworkers, some of whom are here today, running. And that, can't answer the phone, can't answer emails, can't answer texts while you're running if you're focused on what you're doing there. And that spiraled into running races, and I've gotten other friends involved, and now we all run races together, whether it be trail racing, whether it be the marathon series. There was a race last Friday night that I ran with some of my buddies, and I like to pace them. We set a goal, and you don't think about anything else but running. And then if I'm not running, Philip Butterfield and I actually have both spent 4 or 5 seasons being youth football coaches. Neither one of us have children, but we just love the game and love to give back to the community.
Excellent.
Good answer. Thanks for being with us here today, Taylor. All right, Ayush, how do you recharge?
Thanks. First, unfortunate placement right next to a really sports person here. I would say drugs and alcohol. I'm just reading what's written here, so it's a lie. I'm just joking. But for me, I work with my wife, so she's my boss most of the times. So shout out to her. Family is the most critical thing that keeps me grounded and helps me unplug. I have a 5-year-old. She has so many questions about everything, so that keeps me busy. Plus, I run 2 different companies, so there are employees who are like that 5-year-old who have a lot of questions. So family, I would say, and then of course, I love sci-fi stuff, so I kind of get lost in that, and that's also an escape for me. And then of course, cooking, as probably you can tell. Wow, rude. But I love cooking, I love experimenting. I mix Mexican food with Lebanese food, and then try to make Indian food out of that, so it's just amazing.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Ayush. I appreciate that. All right, Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, you mentioned the 4 kids, so not a lot of free time at the White House right now. But we have started a new tradition at our house. On Saturday mornings, we go enjoy some of the beautiful trails around Northwest Arkansas and go hiking. And I know what you're thinking. Hiking with 4 kids does not sound very refreshing. And you're exactly right. It's terrible. But I have kept some of my old premarital fun things I used to do. I brew beer. I like to brew IPAs in the garage. I will say the results are mixed, but the beer is always consumed.
Yes,
so,
yes.
It does help you refresh myself.
I can completely appreciate all of that. So.
Yeah, good deal. All right, Morgan, what about you?
I think for me, the saying, when you love what you do, you don't, and I'll add, when you love to work around who you're around, you don't have to unplug. For me, I work with my mom every day, I work with my dad every day, I work with my best friend every day, I work with my family, and 200 other people with the same mission and purpose that I have. So staying refreshed is just looking at them and loving what we do.
Yeah, I like that perspective. I appreciate that. All right, Shamia, how do we do this?
Yeah, so for me, I actually enjoy the people I work with too. Shouts out to my MISO table. But every now and again when I do need to refresh, we work out west, so I'll tiptoe to this famous yogurt ice cream spot, and I'll go get ice cream. I like to switch it up and have a change of scenery, whether that's in the natural sunlight or go over to the cafe. And believe it or not, MISO has amazing crushed ice. So I'm telling on myself, but when you guys see me getting a cup of crushed ice, I need to decompress for a moment. And then this may not work for most people, but me being in HR and having to always search for niche talent, I find myself logging onto LinkedIn and just cultivating the community that I've been able to build and hopefully attract some people to join MISO if there are any electrical engineers.
Let's don't miss a moment here, right?
Thank
That's
you.
right.
Good answer. All right, Alex, you're going to round out the honorees. Put an egg on top of it.
Thanks, appreciate that. Good egg pun. Yeah, for me it's easy. I have 4 kids, and having young kids, it's yeah, like I said, it's easy. So doing their sports stuff. This last year, I got to the awesome opportunity to coach my 9-year-old's basketball team, and I wanted to be that dad that was like responsible and didn't get fired up and raise my voice, but that didn't happen. And I was super passionate, and yeah, we ran like really hardcore defense at a 9-year-old basketball team, and yeah, I was really proud when we did like traps and things at half court. So, and then outside of that, for me personally, I love to disc golf and ball golf is what we say. So I do both of those, and I have a 3-year-old son that's taken that up, and so we do that in the backyard. And then last but not least, it'd be a shame for me not to plug the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. And of course, I like to watch them. So sorry for any of those Dallas fans in the room. Go Chiefs.
Excellent, thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. I'm also one of those mourning Dallas fans year after year, so thanks for rubbing that in. Thank you to all of you in Group D. We appreciate you. Excellent. Well done.
Well, there you have it, folks. Congratulations again to all of our honorees. I hope you see, like we do, that our state is truly attracting and keeping top quality, talented professionals. And at Arkansas Business, we're looking forward to telling their stories for years to come. Thank you.
And this is an exceptional class, and I love that it comes from all 4 corners of our state, and that really is an encouraging thing. So thank you for being here to help us celebrate them and the accomplishments of their careers so far. We also want to say thank you as we close to our presenting sponsor, Bank OZK. It's really meaningful to have a partner who really celebrates leadership and the future of our state the way OZK has, and we appreciate that. We have a tremendous reception sponsor that's a really special time, the team at HCJ CPAs and Advisors, thank you, as well as the University of Central Arkansas, the Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce / AIA, and the Leadership Arkansas program, which many of you have been in or should take a look at. We also want to thank the Circle sponsor, Wright Lindsay Jennings, and all the discussions that have been happening there. We have a digital marketing team that does a lot of work for this organization, and that's Flex 360. We appreciate that group, Little Rock Marriott, CWP Productions, and all of the Skybox supporters. There was a whole group of people online watching today. We appreciate you being here. Now, as we start to close, having just gone through this, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I know some amazing 30-something who really ought to be recognized. And this is how this works. We need your nomination to be among those 400, 500, 600 nominations that we get a year. Nominations are now being accepted for next year's consideration at arkansasbusiness.com/event/40. So please make your nominations there. We look forward to you submitting folks that really do deserve to have their careers and their impact in their life elevated like this. This concludes our program. 1 o'clock on the dot. You have a beautiful arrangement on your table. Please take that back to the office, and we appreciate you being here to celebrate. Thank you all.
Didn't crash it?
No, it's still